all, welcome to John's Model Making. Today I've got the U96 U-boat for you. Yep, we got the next pack 27. Here we have got 4 boxes. We got the propeller shafts, propeller motors, elevator motor, and we're going to be popping these 6 compartments into place. So that's all the compartments all sorted. Excellent stuff. Really looking forward to this one. There we go, those are the parts. Right, let's have a look at kit 105. So kit 105, we had a port propeller shaft. So let's get the parts out. There we go, those are the parts. So we have the port left side propeller shaft assembly, 3 propeller blades and a retaining plate. There we go. Oops, those are the blades, all on that sprue. Make sure we get these off nice and bonny as well. And it looks like we're gluing these into here. There we go. There is a shape to these as well, as you can see. So we must get the shape right with the blades. So we'll cut the blades off with a good pair of sprue cutters. There we go. And the shape of them will dictate how they go. Like that. There we go. Can't get it that way, it has to go that way. I need to glue them into place. Any roughness or excess on it, you can either use a knife or a file just to, there we go, shape it. There we go, right. And it's just a case of pop that into place, just there like so, with a little bit of glue. Okay, and pop the last blade into place. Just there. Try and get the shape of it as accurate as possible. You may have to hold it for a while. There we go. That's all 3 blades in place. Looking pretty cool. Okay, at this point we're on step 3 and 4. We need the FM screws, and here we have the propeller with the shaft. This is metal, this is plastic. Now we basically need to pop this through here and situate it into there, and then we get the housing, fit that there like so. That looks cool. And we need 1 FM screw down there. Okay, let's get this FM screw into place just here. There we go. That's the FM screw in place. Now we can pop the retaining plate onto here like so, and we'll need a couple of screws for that. We need GM screws for this. There we go, brilliant. That's the first propeller shaft in place. Looking cool. There we go, manually it works fine. Okay, now we need the motor housing, 1046. That goes just there, over the top like that. And we fix that in place with 2 CP screws. There we go, excellent. There we go, we'll fix that in place later on in the build. Okay, let's give that a little test. There we go, working perfect. Excellent stuff. Brilliant. Let's move on to the next kit. Okay, now we have kit 106. We have a motor cable, label cable, cog, and motor housing 106, 5-6 and -7, FM, BP and FP screws. There we go, those are the parts. So the first thing we need to do is put this label onto here. There we go, that's the label in place. Connect that up to the motor. Get in. There we go. That's that nicely popped into place. Now we need this cog. This goes over like that. Oops, there's loose, so just be aware of that. Okay, now we need 1066 and 1067. These 2 pieces go together like that. Fix them together with FP screws. There we go, just like that. Now we need the motor. again, put that cog back onto the motor, and then we can put that into place just there like so. And we need BP screws this time, which are the other black screws. There we go, that's the motor secure. So now we need to pop this plate onto the submarine. Okay, now we can pop 1065 into place. This is for the, obviously the motor that we just popped together. There we go, that goes like that. Now we need 2 FM screws. There we go, that's that in place. That will eventually sit on there, but we need to do the propeller shaft. So let's move on to kit 107. Okay, here we have kit 107. This is the starboard propeller shaft. There we go, those are the parts. Again, we need to cut these off the sprue and pop them onto the end of the propeller shaft. Okay, if you need to shape them, do so with a knife or a file. Probably find the knife is better actually, because it's a curved edge this. That should be fine. These look slightly different than the last. The port side blades. Port side blades actually had a bigger piece at the end, so it slotted in and kept it nice and steady. Well, there we go, that's how that should go. I'll get these glued into place and show you in a minute. There we go, that's all 3 blades in place. Just give that a minute to set. There we go, that's setting nicely. Okay, I think we're ready now to pop this into place. This is a starboard propeller, of course. Pop that through there. Get the propeller into place just here, like so. And again, we need 1 FM screw down here. There we go, brilliant. Right, we need this retaining plate. I think it does have an R on it as well. That will go just there like that. We need 2 GM screws for that. There we go, let's get a GM screw into here. Excellent. Alright, now we can put the motor into place. Fits just over the top, just like that. And we need CP screws to keep this in place. There we go, I think we can give that a test now. There we go, excellent, brilliant stuff. There we go, let's move on to kit 108. Here we have kit 108. We have the elevator motor. In this kit, a connector is first fitted to the main hull structure, and then the 6 compartments is inserted and fixed in place. The elevator motor is fitted with a mounting plate and a lever. There we go, those are our parts. We have 1081, 1082, 1083 and 1084, and we also have CM, FM, AP, DP, GP screws. Okay, first thing we need to do is to remove this piece. So we've got 2 CP screws here at the bottom and 2 here. There we go, that's that out of the way for now. Next we need to remove this bracket here. There we go, excellent. So that's 1011 and 1012 removed. Okay, now we need 1083 into place. That's that bracket just there. We need 6 FM screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go, that's all 6 in place. Okay, now let's get the 6 compartments into place. It should just pop over the top. There is something in the instructions about removing or loosening the starboard torpedo motor. Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. Okay, let's give that another go. It needs to get under here, under that motor there, on the starboard side. I think even if you loosen it, it's going to be difficult anyway. But that is one of the points of contention of getting this into place. that should be there. There we go. Yeah, just make sure you get it under this other motor as well. So just push that grey part forward and it drops into place just there. Excellent. We didn't need to loosen the motor after all. Brilliant stuff. Okay, a couple of GP screws just here. Keep this into place. There we go. That's that 6 compartment sat down. Excellent. Okay, up now we need to gather all these cables across here and put this bracket back in place that we took off earlier. And we'll go there like that. Yeah, keep them cables all nice and neat just there like so. There we go, that's that bracket back in place. All the cables over here. Now we do need this bracket as well, which will go the back of here. This is 1031, so it should be in your stash, and we'll fix that in place with a couple of GP screws. Okay, I've got one GP screw in. We just got one more down here. You are going in on an angle, so it's not exactly easy this. The same with the other bracket. There we go. That is in place. Don't make things easy, do they? Now we need to reposition 1013 back into place there like that. We will add 2 GP screws here, but we'll put the original screws back in first. Okay, doke. We can fit that onto here. There we go, there's 100-3/4 in place. It's rather awkward. I should have done it earlier actually. I think I may have to glue that underneath, but it's in place anyway. It should have been done at step 7 that. So we need to pop 103-2 into place, so I'm going to turn the submarine around. Okay, let's pop 103-2 into place. It will go under that blue paneling there, that blue flooring, and we do need a couple of DP screws for there and GP screws for here. As you can see, these DP screws are under the flooring, so I'll just lift the flooring and pop the screws in. There we go, that's that bracket in place with the magnet. Excellent stuff. Don't know what that screw was doing there. Okay, now we have the motor, the elevator motor, and we need to pop the bracket on. Basically the bracket will go like that, and we hold that in place with a couple of CM screws. There we go, excellent. Next thing we need is the handle, which is D-shaped, so that will pop onto there, and we'll secure that with one of the black screws. Make sure I get that lined up. It is a tight fit, this. Oh, there we go, excellent. And we need one of these black screws, which will enable it to stay in that position. That's the elevator motor with a lever in place. Excellent. We'll fit that later on in the build. So there we go, folks. That is pack 27 completed. There's an elevator motor. You can see the 2 propellers, shafts, and the blades. There we go. That looks absolutely fantastic. Everything is secure now. Not an issue. The only issue we had really was getting the 6 compartments in, trying to get it under the motors. It does say in the instructions to loosen the starboard motor, but it's getting to the screws afterwards, that's the problem. You saw what I did anyway. I ended up getting it under the starboard motor, and the port one I just pushed the plastic underneath. You'll see the obstruction anyway, and then it dropped into place. Excellent. There we go, that's brilliant. That's pack 27 complete. Okay, now let's have a look at this little beauty. There she is. Looking fantastic. Excellent stuff. You saw them both working as well. Well, there she is. She's big. Big. I can get her on here. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I've still got more weathering to do. We've got more panels to fit on this side anyway. And I still need to fill in some of the panels on that side as well. There's the elevator motor. Yeah, nothing too fiddly. Like I said, getting the 6 compartments in was a bit of a challenge because you couldn't actually see, but you've got to get it under both motors, that middle platform. I think there's some components underneath the floor that need to just tuck under the motors, the motor brackets anyway. But it's looking fantastic. It's looking great. Yeah, oh, brilliant. I'm glad we got all the compartments on there. Yeah, but we still got a lot more to do. We're only up to what, 108, and there's 140 altogether, 35 kits. So yeah, we've got another 8 kits to go. Excellent stuff. If you do like that, give us a nice big thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hopefully I'll see you next month. So thanks for tuning in and watching. Stay safe. Bye for now.